new setup, so if I cut my head off, it's not my fault. Okay, hello everyone. I'm already in my pajamas for the night. Just got home from work. And this is my 6-month movie update. I feel like I have been so slacking on Christmas videos this year, which is so unlike me because Christmas is my favorite time of year, but I'm a working girl now, so things are different. But I won't be slacking on my end of year videos because they're my absolute favorite videos to make, and I watch too many movies throughout the year for it to be one video, so I have to split it. So in my other video, which I will link up here, I did January through like mid-June, and in this video I'm doing mid-June through today, which is December 26th. And every year this happens, but I will undoubtedly watch more movies before 2025 because today is only the 26th, but this is the only time I have to film this before it has to go up and before like basically New Year's. So a couple movies will not appear on here, but I shouldn't be seeing any more in theaters or anything like that, so it'll just be like either rewatches or probably either rewatches or things that are on my winter watch list, but I watch it this time every year anyway. So Letterboxd, whatever their year in review is called, I can't remember. Is it just called year in review? I don't know. That has not come out yet, at least that I'm aware of. So this year in my Letterboxd diary, I have watched 229 movies. If each movie is 2 hours, roughly, an average of 2 hours we'll say, 458 hours worth of films, which is extremely unhealthy. And there's 8,060 hours in a year. I think that's 5% of my year, if I did the math correctly. If I didn't do the math correctly, that's really embarrassing. And we're going to go through half of those because I already covered the other half earlier in the year. Okay, so the movie that I ended on in the last video was the Brat Pack documentary, and that was on June 14th, and so we're starting on June 17th, and I am of course following my Letterboxd diary because every single movie that I watch is always logged in my diary on Letterboxd. And because there's so many movies, some of them I'll talk about and some of them I'll just like gloss over. Straight to any of the films, it's just to keep the time down. So on June 17th I watched Hitman because Glen Powell. I watched Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which is a rewatch and on my summer watch list. Another thing that you need to know, sorry, big lead up into this video, is I take seasonal watch lists very seriously. And one of my big resolutions this year, which I will talk more about in my like end of year wrap up, was to watch more new things than rewatches, but not at the cost of my seasonal watch lists. So we're gonna see if that goal came to fruition. I feel like it maybe did, but a lot of the ones in the summer are from my summer watch list. This was also around the time that I was about to go on vacation, so a lot of these are like vacation-y themed. So View from the Top is a movie I have never seen, and I said, wait, this is so cute, watched this at the airport. So we had a really big delay, and so I watched this at the airport that we were in, and then I also watched Father of the Bride, which was a rewatch, The Cheetah Girls 2, which is a rewatch, but I watched it from Barcelona, so it felt new. It really healed me. Then I watched Dumplin', the 2023 The Little Mermaid, Chasing Liberty, which is very vacation themed. That was a rewatch. And then a new movie that I watched, well, not a new movie, but a movie I hadn't seen that I watched was What's Your Number? Watched that on vacation. My Best Friend's Girl, also watched that on vacation. I had never seen it. Father of the Bride Part 2. And then I watched All of Us Strangers, and I said I could write novels on this, and that was a movie I had never seen. Now we're kicking off July. So I started July off with Speed, which says is a new movie, but I have definitely seen it before. So let me mark that. I just had not logged it. I must have seen it before I had Letterboxd. Then I watched Blended, The Notebook, and I watched The Talented Mr. Ripley for the first time, which I was shocked I had never seen, but I watched this while we were on the way to Venice, and it was everything to me. I watched Maid of Honor, which was a rewatch, and then on the plane, I also take my airplane watches. I log those too because there's something about watching a movie on an airplane that I think is a very unique experience. A lot of times, like new movies that I watch on a plane, I feel like I have a different experience watching them when I'm on an airplane than I would have if I had seen them in the theaters versus streaming. I just really like airplane watches. So Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, watched those two. They did not have the third one, I don't think, on the plane, or I would have watched it. So Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, which are the ultimate travel movies. That's why I also love long flights, because it's just an excuse to watch like 4 movies. I just love it. Then I watched Reality Bites for the first time. This is one of my family members' favorite movies, and I had never seen it, and they had it on the plane. So I watched it, and I said, wait, this was so fun and so good to watch at 22. Then I watched Back to the Future, which is of course a rewatch. Some of these I like don't even remember watching because I watched so many movies while we were traveling. A Family Affair, which is the Zac Efron, Nicole Kidman, Joey King movie for the first time. Did a rewatch of Miss Congeniality, and I watched that on the airplane. And then when we got back home from vacation, I saw The Bike Riders, which was in theaters, and you might be able to spot me in it as an extra. So I was a little partial to the film because of that. I watched The Electric Life of Louis Wayne. I said, as a cat person, this wrecked me. I marked it as a hidden gem, which is also one of my favorite lists that I have, or one of my favorite tags that I have on Letterboxd, because it's like movies that I have heard of, but I've just like never thought to watch them. But I had never heard of this movie, and it's Benedict Cumberbatch. So I watched that. I watched Always Be My Maybe, which my mom and sister were shocked I had never seen it, but I had never seen it, and I liked it. Did a rewatch of Dirty Dancing on my summer watch list, and I saw this at the drive-in with my friends. Watched The Parent Trap, which was of course on my summer watch list. And then I saw Twisters in theaters, of course. Then I did Teen Beach Movie and Teen Beach 2 for my summer watch list, and that closes out July. Now we're in August. I'm in my new house with my roommates. Just moved into our new place, and it's movie central. So we started off the month with Boot Camp. Then See You on Venus, watched those the same night. And then I saw Trap in theaters, and I said, finally, a movie for fangirls that are also thriller movie fans. This was such a fun watch and fun to blab about after. So true. I saw It Ends With Us in theaters. I saw, or didn't see this in theaters, but Love in Taipei. I watched that. I watched Little Italy again. I watched The Goonies for my summer watch list. It's so odd to me that I always put The Goonies on my summer watch list, because every time I watch it, I'm like, this movie is so fall, and yet I always watch it in the summer. But my review for this one this time was perfect dialogue, perfect casting, perfect chemistry, perfect comedic timing. I think this movie is so genius. Then I watched Clueless for my summer watch list, which also logged that I have never seen it before. I have seen Clueless like 80,000 times. Then my roommates and I, we had all never seen The Age of Innocence, which is so odd to me. Like, a lot of movies that I watched for the first time this year, I was like, how have I not seen this? Marked it as a hidden gem because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this movie, at least people that I know. And I said, first of all, I can't believe I haven't seen this until just now. This was so incredibly made. Get Martin to do more of this. This was so good. Then I watched Charade for the first time, which I had never seen, at least all the way through. I think I've seen like bits and pieces of it. But I said I love watching Andre movies and being like, oh yeah, I remember that scene from Gossip Girl. Then I saw The Kissing Booth, which was on my summer watch list, of course. And then we finished off August by watching Beautiful Creatures, my roommates and I. Now we're in September. We are flying by. For my summer watch list, I watched What About Bob? Then we watched A Ring of Endless Light, which I had never seen. I did a rewatch of The Sound of Music because I was really in the mood to watch that. I watched Juno for the first time. I had never seen Juno, which is crazy, because even when I was listening to Juno by Sabrina Carpenter, I was like, this is about the movie. But I have never seen the movie, and now I have. Very, very good movie. I said I adored this. It's one of those movies that kind of feels like a warm hug. I watched The Big Chill for the first time. I watched Speak No Evil, saw that in theaters. I said thrillers are so back. Also didn't know this was a remake until I came on here, so also going to have to watch that one. I watched Child Star. I watched Uglies. I did a rewatch of Love at First Sight. I watched Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates because it's a Zac Efron movie I haven't seen. I also watched 4 Weddings and a Funeral, which I had never seen before, and I said Young Hugh Grant in the pouring rain with the music swelling in a British accent. Can't get much better than that. And then I finished off my September with the first Twilight, and that started off my fall watch list. So now we're in October, which means it is Halloween Scary Movie Central. I take my fall watch list extremely seriously, so let's get into it. October 3rd, what did I watch? Mean Girls, of course. Then I watched Hocus Pocus, A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I had never seen. I saw this at the drive-in. I rewatched Monster House, rewatched The Parent Trap, rewatched, well, not rewatch, I did rewatch, but I did my Halloween Town marathon, and then finished off the night with a rewatch of Girl, This Is Monster. October 15th, I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox for the first time, per my roommate's recommendation. Fantastic Mr. Fox is an incredible movie. Did a rewatch of When Harry Met Sally, because it's October, obviously. Watched Twitches, rewatch of Practical Magic, rewatch of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I saw We Live in Time in theaters, which was a remarkable movie. My review, I don't know if you can see that from far away, but it is lengthy, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. Did a rewatch of the absolute iconic movie that is Ginger Snaps. It's so good. Did a rewatch of Casper. Watched Woman of the Hour with Anna Kendrick. I watched the Olivia Rodrigo Guts World Tour, and then finished off my October with a rewatch of Edward Scissorhands. Started off my November with Lonely Planet, and then I saw The Wild Robot in theaters. Did a rewatch of Ella Enchanted, which it also says I've never seen. I have literally seen this movie. I guess it was just before I had Letterboxd. Watched Hometown Christmas. I watched RV, which technically I think I've seen RV, but it has been at least 15 years. Like, I don't remember much of that movie. So it felt like a first watch to me. Rewatched The Other Zoe because I think I was in deep on my Outer Banks watching, and I was like, I need a cleanse, and so I turned on The Other Zoe. I watched My Old, which I loved. I cried so hard. It was so good. If you haven't seen it, go watch. I watched Starstruck, but the 1994 version. My friends and I, we had a movie night, and we tried to watch a movie that none of us have seen, which is really hard because a lot of us watch a lot of movies, but we had never seen the 1994 Starstruck. It came up on our recommended, so we watched that. Then I watched Dan in Real Life, which was a rewatch on my fall watch list. I just love that movie, and I watched it November 18th, 2024, and I said it felt fitting to watch this the week of Wicked's release. If you know, you know. And if you know, you know. It's true. Then I watched, of course, on November 21st, 2024, I have a novel of a review, Wicked. Saw it in theaters opening night on Thursday. I'm not going to read the whole review, but it was perfection. Absolutely perfection. November 2025 needs to get here faster. Then I watched The Wizard of Oz, of course, which I have seen. That's probably the movie that I have seen the most. I was hecka raised on that movie. Was Dorothy like 3 years in a row for Halloween. The original Annie, because apparently I was on a movie musical kick. I watched the movie Turkey Drop, which I had never seen, but it is a Thanksgiving movie. I watched No Hard Feelings for the first time. I feel like I have started that movie like 3 times and just never finished it. Finally finished it. I said she's so girl on fire in this. So I watched that, and then I watched Paul Blart Mall Cop because that is a Black Friday movie. You have to watch it on Black Friday. I watched Our Little Secret, which I loved. I thought it was so cute. I saw Wicked again in theaters with my mom and my sister for Thanksgiving. And then I watched Little Women again, and I saw Best Christmas Pageant Ever with my grandma in theaters. And then I started off my December by watching Sidelined, the QB and Me. I said here for Drew Ray Tanner. I freaking love Drew Ray Tanner. Did a rewatch of High School Musical 3. I don't know why. We just did it. And it was my review this time, because I've seen this, probably the second movie I've seen the most. My review this time was World Shifting. That's all I said. I watched The Holiday, which of course is my winter watch list. Home Alone, which I have seen a lot of times. This was also on my winter watch list, but I saw this in a theater at Macaulay Culkin's little tour that he's doing, which was so cool. And people were having the absolute time of their lives. It was so fun to witness this in the theaters, and then it was so cool to just listen to him talk about his experience in the movie. Felt very Christmassy, a good little start to the season. And then I watched Let It Snow, which was on my winter watch list, of course. One of my favorite winter movies. It's so fun. I watched A Nonsense Christmas with Sabrina Carpenter. I watched Elf. I watched Eloise at Christmas Time, because obviously. My roommates and I did bingo, Christmas movie bingo, to The Merry Gentleman, which was very fun. Watched Meet Me Next Christmas, Love Actually, Twilight. Twilight always ends up on my winter and fall watch list. I saw Y2K in theaters, which was so fun. I was having the time of my life. I watched Good Luck Charlie, It's Christmas, of course, winter watch list. And then every single movie that I'm about to say is on my winter watch list. So here we go. Holiday in Handcuffs, The Mistletoes, It's a Wonderful Life, Home Alone 2, all of the Santa Clauses, I did my marathon, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, White Christmas, The Princess Switch. I watched Mimi in St. Louis for the first time. I have never seen Mimi in St. Louis. I feel awful that I've never seen it, and it was so good. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas is my favorite Christmas song, and it's definitely going to be a watch every year film. Christmas with the Cranks, Frosty the Snowman, which I have not seen Frosty the Snowman in probably at least 10 years. Watched it on Christmas Eve. We saw A Complete Unknown in theaters, my family and I, on Christmas Eve, and it was so good. Please go see it. It was so good. I said everyone ever is in this film, like Hey Fiyero, Hey Graham, Okay Chelsea Hotel Mention. Elle Fanning was incredible, Timothée Chalamet was incredible. Everybody was so good. Go see it. Then the annual Christmas movie, or the annual Christmas Eve Christmas movie is Christmas Vacation, and then I watched The Polar Express, and then on Christmas I finished off Christmas Day with The Family Stone, Little Women, and A Christmas Story. So we sped through those, but those are my 6-month movie updates from June to December, and like I said, I will probably watch more. I'm planning to watch Carry On here soon because I keep hearing good things about it, but I wanted to get through my Christmas movies first, so I'll probably end up watching that, and then a couple others sprinkled through there. And we're going to count up and see if I followed through with my promise of watching more new things than rewatches. I'm gonna count. Okay, I think I watched 99 new movies, so there's no way. There's no way that I hit it. I watched 229 this year and only watched 99 new ones. That's of course not including shows because I still have to do my TV show recap, but even if I didn't hit the goal for movies, I will say that I was very intentional about it, but my seasonal rewatches or my seasonal watch lists just kill me every time, so I was very intentional about it, and we're just going to do better next year. But 100 new movies for me is pretty good. I mean, it was 99, but I'm just going to say 100. 100 new movies for me is stellar, so I'm proud of myself. I'm going to watch a new one here soon. I know I sped through those, but I always do, so that was my 6-month movie update. Saw 16 movies in theaters this year. I'm very lucky. I technically went to the movies 17 times because I saw Wicked twice. Very lucky. I love Discount Tuesdays. I slayed them up. I'm probably going to buy Movie Club for myself in 2025 because I would save so much money. I just love the movies. They're the best place on earth. So 16 movies in theaters, which is 2 more than I had last year. And yeah, I can't wait to go over more things that I did this year in other videos, as well as my year in review and wrap-up video. But thank you all for watching. I will have the first half of the year linked up here, and then any other holiday-esque videos that I have will also be linked down below and in the eye. Thank you all for watching, and I love movies. Okay, bye!